on to 2M.
Yeah, absolutely. We will move on to 2M here, right here, as we talk. And here you go, Marty. Your
I know
region that
this
you're
one
from.
well.
You know,
Yeah.
you know this region very well, and I don't know if you're very happy about this 4-5 matchup sitting the early projection.
Well, if I don't have to go to Orlando for it, I'll be okay, because we just went to Bishop Moore 2 weeks ago with Bishop Kenny. But yeah, right now they would be the 4-5. That would be at Bishop Kenny. Well, it actually may not be at Bishop Kenny, as you said. If Bishop Moore wins the district, it could be there. But yeah, Rains the one, not surprising. Only loss for Rains is to Mainland right now. They just beat Trinity Catholic. Wolfson as the 8 is interesting, and they play Bishop Kenny this week in the district opener. Bowles and Ed White. Interesting as well. Bowles the 2. They're assuming Bowles will win that district 2M2, which they could. They play Episcopal this week, and then Riverside. By the way, Riverside's already in.
Yeah, congratulations to Riverside, the Riverside Generals.
Week 5, they're in the playoffs.
Who has already clinched their district, by the way.
They already beat Ed White and beat Westside. They're district champs.
District 2M3, they are in. The Riverside Generals are in. I mean, you can't say any more than that. I mean, you win your district, you're in. That's how you qualify automatically in. As you said, Riverside sitting there at that 3 seed, but Bowles, who started off 0-3, has now won 2 straight. Yeah, but they have played one of the toughest schedules in the state.
Well, I'm going to tell you that they are in our Prep Zone Power Poll, which we do for 26 counties in this area. Bowles started the year, of course, in like 7th or 8th. They fell out at 0-3, but then they beat Trinity Christian. So last week at 1-3, they were actually the first team receiving votes, the first team out. Then they beat Oakleaf, who was ranked. So I think Bowles will be back in the poll, probably with a 2-3 record. I mean, they are probably the best 2-3 team in the state of Florida, because they've played Coffee County, Georgia. They played St. Augustine, who's undefeated. They played Mandarin, who just lost their first game to Creekside by a point. And then they beat Trinity Christian, and then they beat Oakleaf.
And so, by the way, speaking of such things with Bowles, they're the combined winning percentage of the 5 opponents they have played so far is .813.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. That explains why sitting there at 2 right there. And then look at Rains. I mean, here's the thing. Rains is 3-1. They've played some tough teams, but the combined winning percentage of their opponents is .500.
Well, that's true, because Trinity Catholic's 1-3. They just beat, but Trinity Catholic's been playing everybody. They lost. Now Mainland is undefeated. That's the one team they play that really is doing well. And we'll get to Mainland in a minute as well. But
yeah. No, absolutely, and everything, and of course, taking a look here at region to get into 2M Region 2 here, Marty. Berkeley Prep sitting there at 1 and Clearwater at 2. What would a team that's interesting that had made the deep run, went to the state semifinals last year, sitting there. There's Lakewood sitting there at 7, who just finally won their first game of the season after dropping 4 games straight. But again, Lakewood has a tough schedule here, so can't really knock them there. But one team that's really interesting sitting there at that number 8 seed is Tampa Jefferson, who's only won one game. They're 1-4 here, but sitting there at that 8 seed. So, but again, remember, guys. Remember, everybody, the things are going to change here. Things are going to change here over the next few weeks. What we see here, right here on this screen, may look totally different come next Tuesday evening.
Right. We're not announcing the playoff teams this weekend. So, yeah,
no.
Right? There's going to be like 5 more weeks coming up. But, yeah, that's true. And actually 6 more weeks. Yeah. So, but, yeah, that is interesting. By the way, let's see. I don't know if we want to go to that.
We'll go to the comments here after we get done.
Like you said, I think Berkeley Prep and Clearwater and Tampa Catholic will all be teams to watch in this region. Definitely Tampa Catholic.
And Calvary Christian, too. I'll say that.
Yeah, right.
And I'm surprised Calvary sitting there in that 5 seed. I think they'll eventually gonna kind of rise up a little bit more. But Calvary Christian Clearwater, that'll be a game to watch when they play here in the district, in the districts over here in the next few weeks. So go into 2M Region 3 here. Let's look at this here. All right, you're gonna get confused. All right, American Heritage and American Heritage sitting there, but we can tell you which one is which right off the bat. American Heritage Plantation sitting there at that 1 seed. Right. American Heritage Delray at the number 6 seed. That should be no confusion at all there after that.
No, I think you would realize the Plantation team is a little higher than the Delray team, and then you got Cardinal Gibbons as the 2 seed. I mean, we just talked to Coach last week here on our South Florida Blitz, and the Cardinal Gibbons is having another good year. They've won 3 of the last 4 state championships, so watch out. They are going to be a team to watch again. And then St. Andrews from Boca Raton down there played Delray American Heritage, but again, this will change. Stranahan is the 8 seed as well. So, but that's gonna be fun. If American Heritage ends up playing Cardinal Gibbons, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. It usually is. They've played before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, Somerset Canyon sitting there at that 7 seed. But go into Region 4, which this is probably the most loaded region of all the regions in Class 2M, Marty, because this is pretty much Miami-Dade County. And some people are going to be like, well, why in the heck is Miami Central a 2 seed? Miami Norland is a 1. Well, one, I can tell you right the second, again, this is still early, but Miami Central has a game that was suspended. One of their district games. It's whether they haven't kind of, I think, figured out when to finish that game off here. But Miami Norland, they're 5-0 on the season. I mean, Miami Norland, they are looking strong. So, in they're both in the same district. So, watch out. Can Miami Norland beat Miami Central? I mean, if this keeps rolling, that Norland team is going to give the Rockets a lot of fits. The Vikings versus the Rockets here. It's coming up pretty soon.
Vikings and the Rockets. Yeah, I like the sound of that. New Orleans, a team we haven't talked about them as much the last few years, but like you said, right now they're undefeated record. They've already beaten Lakeland to start the year. And Miami Central having really a tough schedule to start. Lost in Vegas against Bishop Gorman, lost to Chaminade Madonna. But I think we'll still hear from them, as you said. If we see Central and Gulliver Prep or Booker T. Washington on the bottom, that would be a lot of fun to watch too. That
No,
would be
absolutely.
obviously at Traz Powell if it's Central Booker T. And then again up top, I think New Orleans probably heavy favorite at this point with Miami Springs and Miami Edison waiting in the second round.
No, you're absolutely right there, Marty, and everything. And then, of course, Miami Springs is interesting. They're 4-1 on the season so far, and I'm surprised to see them sitting there. But we'll see what happens there. I mean, if Bill Daly's watching, that's his Miami Springs Golden Hawks. There's Bill Daly down there from the Miami Herald. But Booker T. Washington Center 6 seed. I think Booker T. will end up being a little bit more higher, if not in that top four, just because Booker T. You know, is one of the stronger teams in terms of their schedule, and you'll see that and everything here coming up here over the next few weeks. And of course, let's go to the chat here real quick, Marty, and bring up some comments here that we have seen here in the terms of Michael Parsons asked if you think that the state champs come out of Region 3 and 4. Well, 99.9%, yes, I think so. I mean,